about this point? There's something that we kind of toed around is like on one hand, Black brands, you know, for Black people, but then what about Black brands for others? How do we bridge that gap?
Well,
I think, oops, sorry.
I'd like to comment on that. I think that as far as, I do think it's important to support Black brands. As being a person of color and a Black person, I definitely think we should support our own because a lot of other cultures do that. And unfortunately, throughout history, there's been a lot of divisiveness that has occurred socially and systematically to our community. And now that we are all aware of that, we definitely need to come together and support our own from beauty and other type of industries. Everyday things that we need, because if I look around my entire room, the only few things that I have that are probably made by African Americans are my products and a few other people's products that I purchase. But as far as from a computer to this couch to everything else, none of this is made by African Americans. And that's very important, making a quality product, but also making goods that we can contribute to the world. And that's what I focus on with Shedavi, is that my products are definitely developed for my hair type, but they also can work well for other hair types. There's been plenty of people that have left reviews on our website and have commented on how wholesome and how wonderful our vitamins are, or our oils, and that these type of products, as African Americans, yes, we do need clean beauty. Yes, we do need moisturized skin, but other races also need this too. And so that's something that we can also speak to with our brands. And also, I'm sorry, one more thing. Bringing the, as we all know, like historically, beauty supplies, corner stores, I'm from Chicago, so we have corner stores, the little restaurants that's up the street that you buy takeout from, all of those have been historically and continue to be owned by people of other races. And so at this point in time, I do think that it's time for us to start owning more within our community, to keep the dollar within our community, and also to have others buying from us too.
I think that's a good point. And I think, Janice, this is where you come in.
Yes. So I'm glad you mentioned that, Liz, because a part of our struggle as Black-owned beauty supply stores, and I hate to say beauty supply stores because it has like this negative connotation that our stores look like what we're used to, which is the Asian stores, big, you know, product everywhere, not fabulous. And I want to challenge, you know, everyone listening and even some of the brands on here that our stores are beautiful, like Ulta and Sephora. You can, and I think we're missing such a huge piece, some of the brands here, is that when you come and shop at a Black-owned store, your consumer, the people that would watch you online, watch you on YouTube, they are getting the one-on-one attention from someone who looks like them. So we sell our Black-owned brands more than Ulta, Target, or anybody else would. Don't get it twisted. I champion all of the Black-owned women in my store. I know your story. I know how you got started. I know your kids. And so I'm able to sell a product to your consumer or to a potential new consumer, someone who would come into my store looking for something else. And I'm saying, well, look at this Black-owned brand. Look at this natural brand. You know, I'm able to have those conversations that they would not have at an Ulta or a Sephora or a Target, period. So it is so important for us to really connect back with the Black-owned stores, and you know, let's get rid of this stigma that, you know, your product's not good enough, because our stores that we are building up, they're beautiful. We are building up stores that people can come in and not only shop but feel comfortable having a conversation about their hair. How comfortable am I going to be going into Sephora, you know, speaking to someone who doesn't look like me about my hair, or Ulta, you know? So I really want to bridge that gap.
I think it's
I want to
really
second
good point.
what Janice said.
Go ahead. Mm-hmm.
I want to second what Janice said, because a lot of the customers we have are non-Black customers. They're Caucasians and probably Latinas, and they come into the store, and I have an opportunity to present products by Black women, by brilliant Black women to them. So when they come in, the conversation is about, I need to fix this, or I need to address this. And then, you know, I know the products that I have on the shelves, and I know what they do. So I can say, here is this product. And it's not that this product is by a Black woman. This is just a product. Why don't you try it? And then they take it home and they're, oh my God, this is amazing. And that's the kind of relationships we want to have with people. We don't want to be a place where bias exists and racism exists. We want to be a place that's safe, where people of all races can come in, but we also want to be a place where Black women can have their products proudly showcased, and not just 1%. Right? We're talking about 60% of the products on the shelves are by Black women. We're small in this space right now, but our mission, and you know, it's big, it's supersized. And so I don't see a lot of brands out there doing that. I don't see the big Ultras of the world and the Sephors of the world having 40 or 30% or even 20 or 10% women of color brands. I mean, I can probably count them with my two hands, right? And they've got thousands. So this is a space that I'd like to see, and that's the space that we created to really amplify the voices and the creative genius of Black women and women of color.
I think that's a wonderful point, Dixie. I was listening, I totally agree. I think not just shopping Black retail is important to, you know, Black beauty, but I also think it's important to entrepreneurial brands, right? Because it's stores like, you know, Inside Out or Beauty Market that can give you your shot on the shelves, right? So I think it's like recognizing these Black retailers like Black and Green, you know, these are the places that, you know, like entrepreneurial brands can go to for their start too. So I think it's all around a really important space for us to also focus on. So the other thing too is, you know, it's not just beauty, but wellness too, you know? So I think understanding, you know, finding those brands in the wellness space that we want to amplify, like Gold. You know, these are some brands that there's brands out there that, you know, we need to also amplify in the wellness areas. So that's some of the brands that I know, Dixie, you carry in some of your store. So I think that's also an important point, is that we need to also really look at, you know, what we're doing internally as well.